Rights groups appeal to Syria's new rulers to urgently preserve evidence of atrocities committed under former President Assad. Israel's Prime Minister says that progress has been made on a ceasefire in Gaza. Officials say that a deal is the closest it's ever been after months of deadlock. And in a break from tradition, the King won't be recording his Christmas message from a royal residence.
And for the first time in almost 20 years, the monarch's Christmas Day message is not being broadcast from a royal residence. Instead, King Charles has chosen a former hospital chapel, the Fitzrovia Chapel in London. The traditional speech from the monarch will be broadcast at 1500 GMT on Christmas Day.
President Biden has decided to save 37 federal prisoners from execution, commuting their death sentences. They'll now spend the rest of their lives in prison without parole. In a statement, Mr. Biden said that he condemned their acts, but he was being guided by his conscience. 3 executions are still due to go to a head, including that of the Boston Marathon bomber. The French Prime Minister says that the number of people killed by a cyclone in the territory of Mayotte was likely to be in the dozens rather than the thousands as first thought. A minute's silence was marked across France today in honour of those who died in the French territory in the Indian Ocean between Madagascar and the coast of Mozambique. The Japanese car makers Honda and Nissan have announced plans to merge. The integration, which would create the world's 3rd biggest car producer, would aim to take on Chinese and American rivals in the electrical vehicle market. Last month, Nissan announced that it was cutting global production by a 5th, but the head of Honda has denied suggestions that his company was trying to rescue its struggling rival. Former President Bill Clinton was admitted to Georgetown University Medical Center on Monday afternoon for testing and observation after developing a fever. His Deputy Chief of Staff says that he remains in good spirits and deeply appreciates the excellent care that he's receiving. Russian scientists have revealed the remains of what they say is the world's best preserved mammoth carcass. The female baby mammoth is more than 50,000 years old. It was found in the region of Yakutia in Russia's far east in permafrost, which acts like a giant freezer preserving the remains. Only 6 other mammoth carcasses have been found in the world, 5 in Russia, 1 in Canada. The body resembles a baby elephant and weighs 100 kilos. Well, as we end, let's just take a look at some live pictures in Hawaii, where one of the most active volcanoes in the world has erupted again. Lava began erupting at around 2 a.m. local time on Monday, with fountains stretching more than 200 feet. Now, that volcano is located on Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. That is on the Big Island. It's been erupting since 1983. And the U.S. Geological Survey says right now, no immediate threats to infrastructure, and that those eruptions have stabilized by around 6:30 a.m. in the morning. But as you can see, lava still there on the Big Island. That is the Kilauea volcano there. You are watching BBC News. We'll have more for you at the top of the hour. Join me then if you can. Bye for now.
The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, says she faces a huge challenge in fixing the economy after revised figures showed it flatlined in the first 3 months of the Labour government. It's the latest in a disappointing series of statistics for ministers, with inflation rising at its fastest rate for 8 months. Sir Keir Starmer and Volodymyr Zelensky have agreed on the importance of refining the UK's training of Ukrainian forces to bolster the country's defence in a call on Monday. It comes after it emerged the Ministry of Defence was considering the possibility of sending British troops to Ukraine to help train its armed forces. Now, 2024 was a big year for artificial intelligence companies, and almost every field have been looking for ways to incorporate AI into their business models. In some cases, just to speed up workflows, in others, to find whole new ways of working. But amid this excitement, there's also caution amongst experts about what rapidly improving artificial intelligence systems could mean and whether governments can be quick enough to keep up with new technological advances.
Today, unlocking the secrets of our nearest star, a NASA spacecraft attempts the closest ever approach to the Sun. The Parker Solar Probe has already been around the Sun 21 times, getting ever nearer. Also today, protests in Syria over the burning of a Christmas tree amid fears that religious minorities might be vulnerable.
Protests have broken out in Syria after a Christmas tree was set alight in a Christian-majority town. A video posted on social media and verified by the BBC shows masked gunmen setting the tree alight in the main square of Syria. The main Islamist faction, which led the uprising that toppled President Bashar al-Assad, said those responsible were foreign fighters and had been detained.